We will discuss operating system MCQs of computer science. These are important MCQs for all types of competitive exams and job tests. In addition, these are also helpful for computer science students of bachelor and master level. 1. The main memory of the computer. A. Stores data and programs. B. Performs data processing functions. C. Controls the operations of computer. Correct answer is A. 2. MAR, Memory Address Register. A. Contains data to be written into memory. B. Contains data to be read from memory. C. Contains address of next instruction to be fetched. D. Specifies location in memory for next read/or writer. Correct answer is D. 3. Program counter. P. C. Contains A. Address of an instruction to be fetched. B. Instructions most recently fetched. C. Data to be written into memory. D. Data to be read from memory. Correct answer is A. 4. IR, Instruction Register. A. Specifies memory addresses. B. Contains the address of an instruction to be fetched. C. Contains the instruction most recently fetched. Correct answer is C. 5. Which of the following is not an address register? A. Index register. B. Segment pointer. C. Stack pointer. D. Data register. Correct answer is D. 6. Following is not the state of 5-state process model. A. Ready. B. Running. C. Not running. D. New. Correct answer is C. 7. Memory table is used. A. To allocate main memory to processes. B. To allocate secondary memory to processes. C. To manage virtual memory. D. All are true. Correct answer is D. 8. I/O tables are used. A. To assign I/O devices of computer. B. To manage I/O devices of computer system. C. A and B both true. D. A and B both false. Correct answer is C. 9. The operating system control tables maintains file table, because A. These tables manage I/O devices and channels of the computer system. B. These tables provide information about the existence of files, their location on secondary memory and their current status. C. These tables provide information to manage process. Correct answer is B. 10. Processor in computer. A. Controls the operations of the computer/processes data functions. B. Stores data and program. C. Moves data between computer and its external environment. Correct answer is A. 11. Memory buffer register, MBR, contains A. Data that is to be written into memory. B. A particular I/O device. C. Exchange data between I/O module and the processor. D. The instruction most recently fetched. Correct answer is A. 12. I/O modules move data. A. Between external environment and computer. B. In the computer main memory. C. In processors. Correct answer is A. 13. I/O-OBR, I/O buffer register, is A. Used for the exchange of data between an I/O module and the processor. B. Specifies particular I/O device. C. A, B are true. D, A, B are false. Correct answer is A. 14. User visible register. A. Enables machine language programmer to minimize main memory reference by optimizing register use. B. Enables assembly language programmer to minimize main memory reference by optimizing register use. C. A and B both true. D. A and B both false. Correct answer is C. 15. The operations of the processor are supervised by A. Control and status register. B. Data register. C. Address register. Correct answer is A. 16. User visible register. Which of the following do not support GUI, graphical user interface? A. DOS. B. Windows. C. Linux. Correct answer is A. 17. In the given operating system, match the correct I. Thread. 2. Process. A. The unit of resource ownership. B. The unit of dispatching. A. I. A and 2. B. C. I. B and 2. A. D. I. A. B. E. 2. A. B. Correct answer is C. 18. The MS-DOS and operating system supports A. Single user process and multiple threads. B. Multiple user process and single thread. C. Single user process and single thread. D. Multiple user processes and multiple threads. Correct answer is C. 19. The Unix, an operating system supports A. Multiple user processes and single thread per process. B. Multiple user processes and multiple threads per process. C. Single user process and single thread per process. D. Single user process and multiple threads per process. Correct answer is C. 20. The Java runtime environment is an example of A. Single user process with multiple threads. B. Multiple user processes with single thread per process. C. Multiple user processes with multiple threads per process. Correct answer is A. 21. The Windows 2000 operating system supports A. Multiple user processes with single thread per process. B. Multiple processes with multiple thread per process. C. Single process with single thread. D. Single process with multiple threads. Correct answer is B. 22. In the pure user level threads, ULT. I. Thread management is done by application. 2. Thread management is done by kernel. 3. Kernel is not aware of the existence of thread. 4. Application Program Interface, API, to the kernel thread facility. A. I. 3 are true. B. I. 2 and 3 are true. C. All are false. D. None of these are true. Correct answer is A. 23. The Windows 2000, W2K, and Linux are the example of A. User level thread, ULT. B. Kernel level thread, KLT. C. A and B both. Correct answer is B. 24. The following is not an advantage of user level threads, ULT. A. Thread switching does not requires kernel mode privileges because all of the thread management are within the user address space of a single process. B. Here scheduling can be application specific. C. ULT can be run in any operating system. D. When ULT executes a system call, not only that thread blocked, but all of the threads within the process are blocked. Correct answer is D. 25. The Linux operating system supports A. Single thread per process and single process. B. Multiple thread per process and single process. C. Single thread per process and multiple processes. D. Multiple thread per process and multiple processes. Correct answer is D. 26. The vector and array processors fall into A. Single instruction single data, sys. D. Stream. B. Single instruction multiple data, sim. D. Stream. C. Multiple instruction single data, miss. D. Stream. D. Multiple instruction multiple data, mem. D. System. Correct answer is B. 27. In cluster A. Computers communicate with each others via fixed paths or via some network facilities. B. Computer communicates with each others via a shared memory. C. Both. A. And B. D. None of these. Correct answer is A. 28. The cluster is a case of A. Distributed memory. B. Shared memory. C. Master/slave architecture. D. Symmetric multiprocessor. Correct answer is A. 29. The master/slave architecture is an example of A. Distributed memory processing. B. Shared memory processing. C. Symmetric multiprocessing. D. None of these. Correct answer is B. 30. I/O modules in computer A. controls the operation of the computer. B. Stores data and program. C. Move data between the computer and external environment. D. Provides communication among processors and main memory. Correct answer is C. 31 Instruction register contains A. The address of an instruction to be fetched. B. The instructions most recently fetched. C. The data to be written into memory. D. The data to be read from memory. Correct answer is B. 32 The following: A. Start, fetch next instruction, execute instruction, halt, represents. B. Instruction cycle with interrupt. C. Instruction cycle without interrupt. D. Instruction cycle with 2 interrupts. E. None of these. Correct answer is C. 33 Instruction processing consists of A. Fetch cycle only. B. Execution cycle only. C. Fetch and execution cycle both. D. None of these. Correct answer is C. 34 Operating system is A. Software. B. Hardware. C. Software and hardware both. D. None of these. Correct answer is A. 35 The concept used to support multi-programming environment on a computer is A. Virtual memory. B. Hierarchy of physical memory. C. Display of multiple windows. D. None the above. Correct answer is C. 36 Which combination of the following features will suffice to characterize an OS as a multi-programmed OS? I. More than one program may be loaded into main memory at the same time for execution. 2. If a program waits for certain events such as I/O, another program is immediately scheduled for execution. 3. If the execution of a program terminates, another program is immediately scheduled for execution. A. I. Only. B. 2. And 3. C. I. And 3. D. I. 2. And 3. Correct answer is D. 37 Turnaround time is defined as A. Delay between job submission and job completion. B. A. Waiting time. C. Both. A. And B. Above. D. None of these. Correct answer is A. 38 The only state transition initiated by the user process itself in an operating system is A. Block. B. Timer run out. C. Dispatch. D. Wake up. Correct answer is A. 39 Window 98 is A. A. Single user system. B. Multi-user system. C. Single tasking system. D. None of these. Correct answer is A. 40 OS/390 is A. A. Single user system. B. Multi-user system. C. Single tasking system. D. None of these. Correct answer is B. 41 Thread is A. Dispatchable unit of work. B. Can be interrupted. C. A and B both true. D. A and B both false. Correct answer is C. 42 Multithreading allows A. To run threads concurrently. B. To run threads independently. C. A is true. B is false. D. A and B both true. Correct answer is D. 43 For multithreading A. Tasks to be performed can be independent. B. Task to be performed is essentially serialized. C. Tasks cannot be divided into number of threads. D. None is true. Correct answer is A. 44 The principal function of a process is A. To execute machine instructions residing in main memory. B. To execute assembly instructions residing outside main memory. C. A and B both true. D. A and B both false. Correct answer is A. 45 The trace of the process is A. A set of instructions that execute process. B. A listing of sequence of instructions that execute process. C. A track of network, D. None of these. Correct answer is B. 46. The two-state process models have the following states: A. Running and not running, B. Running and ready, C. Ready and blocked, D. New and ready. Correct answer is A. 47. The process control blocks are referred for: A. Process control, B. I/O devices, C. Memory allocation, D. None of these. Correct answer is A. 48. Given three switch processes, when they occur match them. 1. Clock interrupt. A. The processor encounters a virtual memory address reference for a word that is not in the main memory. 2. I/O interrupt. B. The operating system determines whether the currently running process has been executed for the maximum allowable time slice. 3. Memory fault. C. The operating system determines the I/O action that occurs. A. 1A, 2B, 3C, B, 1B, 2C, 3A, C, 1B, 2A, 3C, D, 1C, 2B, 3A. Correct answer is B. 49. With trap in process control. A. Operating system determines the error or exception condition that is fatal. B. Operating system interrupted for maximum allowable time. C. Are tables that manage information process. D. None of these. Correct answer is A. 50. Process control block is also referred as A. Fast control block, B. Process descriptor, C. Task descriptor, D. A, B, C are all true. Correct answer is D. 51. The operating system control tables maintain process tables, because A. These tables manages I/O devices, B. These tables manages files, C. These tables manages memory, D. None of these. Correct answer is D. 52. Windows XP is A. Uniprogramming processes, B. Multiprogramming processes, C. Hardware, D. None of these. Correct answer is B. 53. The OS/2 is the operating system that support A. Single thread per process, B. Multiple thread per process, C. Single process, D. None of these. Correct answer is B. 54. In shared memory multiprocessor. A. Computer communicate to each other by fixed paths, B. Computer communicates to each other via a shared memory. C. Each processing element is a self-contained computer. D. None of these. Correct answer is B. 55. The following is not true for master/slave architecture. A. A failure of master brings down the whole system, B. Operating system kernel runs on master processor only, C. Operating system kernel can run on any processor either master or slave. D. All scheduling and process management is done on master processor. Correct answer is C. 56. In monolithic operating system, A. Virtually any procedure can call any other procedure. B. Virtually specific procedure can call any other procedure. C. Virtually specific procedure can call specific procedure. D. None of these. Correct answer is A. 57. In layered operating system, following statement is false. A. Most or all the layers execute in kernel mode. B. Interaction only takes place between adjacent layers. C. Functions are organized hierarchically. D. None of these. Correct answer is D. 58. When operating system always run on a particular processor and that particular processor do all scheduling and process management, then this is an example of A. Master/slave architecture, B. Symmetric multiprocessor, C. Cluster, D. None of these. Correct answer is A. 59. In microkernel architecture, following is false. A. Intersection takes place only between adjacent layers. B. Intersection takes place via microkernel. C. It supports portability, D. It supports object-oriented operating system. Correct answer is A. 60. In the following processes, A equals A plus 1, B equals 2 times B, B equals B plus 1, A equals 2 times A, the output is A greater than B, B, a smaller than B, C, A equals B, D, none of these. Correct answer is D. 61. A semaphore is initialized to A. Negative integer value, B. Positive integer value, C. Non-negative integer value, D. Non-positive integer value. Correct answer is C. 62. The wait operation, A. Decrements the semaphore value, B. Increments the semaphore value, C. Fixes the semaphore value, D. None of these. Correct answer is A. 63. In semaphore, the process executing the wait is blocked if A. The semaphore value becomes negative, B. The semaphore value become positive, C. The semaphore value becomes non-positive, D. The semaphore value becomes non-negative. Correct answer is A. 64. In semaphore, when the order of processes that are waiting to be removed from the queue is first in first out, FIFO, then it is called A. Weak semaphore, B. Strong semaphore, C. Binary semaphore, D. None of these. Correct answer is B. 65. In semaphore, the process blocked by wait operation is unblocked if A. Semaphore value becomes non-negative, B. Semaphore value becomes non-positive, C. Semaphore value is negative, D. Semaphore value is positive. Correct answer is B. 66. The compaction is the technique in memory management that is used to overcome A. Internal fragmentation, B. External fragmentation, C. Both, A, and B, D, none of these. Correct answer is B. 67. Physical address, absolute address, in memory partitioning is A. Actual location in main memory, B. A reference to memory location independent of current assignment, C. A logical address, D. None of these. Correct answer is A. 68. The frame, A. Can hold exactly one page of data, B. Can hold more than one page of data, C. Can hold 2 pages of data, D. None of these. Correct answer is A. 69. The page table that is maintained by operating system, A. Shows frame location for each page of the process, B. Shows actual address in main memory, C. Refer memory location to memory, D. None of these. Correct answer is A. 70. Match the following pairs, A. Logical address, 1. An actual location in main memory, B. Relative address, 2. An address is expressed as a location relative to some known point, C. Physical address, 3. A memory location independent of the current assignment of data to memory, A, A3, B2, C1, B, A2, B1, C3, C, A3, B1, C2, D, A1, B2, C3. Correct answer is A. 71. The resident set of processes, A process that are actually in main memory at any time, B. A process that are actually in virtual memory at any time, C. A process that are actually in disk, D. None of these. Correct answer is A. 72. Physical address in memory management is A. Actual location in main memory, B. Memory location independent of current assignment of data to memory, C. Memory location dependent to some known point, D. None of these. Correct answer is A. 73. Relative address in memory management is A. Independent of some known point, B. Dependent to some known point, C. Actual location in the main memory, D. None of these. Correct answer is B. 74 A absolute loading. B relocatable loading. C dynamic runtime loading. 1. For loader, load module, either is an absolute main memory address or specific address reference. 2. For loader, load modules have no absolute address. 3. For loader, load modules have all memory reference in relative form. A, A1, B2, C3, B, A2, B3, C1, C, A1, B3, C2, D, A3, B2, C1. Correct answer is A. 75 For load time dynamic linking. A. Load module, application module, to be loaded is read into memory. B. Some of the linking is postponed until execution time. C. External references to target modules remain in the loaded program. D. None of these. Correct answer is A. 76 In thread scheduling, load sharing is referred to. A. Simultaneous scheduling of threads that make up a single process. B. Implicit scheduling defined by the assignment of threads to processors. C. A global queue of ready thread is maintained and each processor, when idle, selects a thread from queue. D. None of these. Correct answer is C. 77 The real-time task. A. The tasks that reacts to events that take place in outside world. B. The tasks that do not reacts to the outside world events. C. The tasks are independent of the time when it occurs. D. None of these. Correct answer is A. 78 Hard real-time tasks are. A. A real-time task that do not require deadline constraints. B. A real-time task that requires deadline constraints. C. A task independent to time when it occurs. Correct answer is B. 79 The deterministic operating system. A. Where operations are performed within predetermined time interval. B. Where operations can be performed without predetermined time interval. C. The operating time cannot be determined. Correct answer is A. 80 In responsive real-time operating system. A. The interruption is acknowledged and operating system responds to interrupt. B. Once the operation starts no interrupt is acknowledged. C. The operation completes in fixed interval of time. Correct answer is A. Other parts of operating system MCQs are also shared. Please visit playlist. Best of luck for your exams. Consider to subscribe if you were new here.